Hey guys, welcome back. I am Soulbash. We are back with some more Paladin Strike. Today, I'm going to talk about Zhin. Now, before jumping into some main gameplay of Zhin, I want to talk about his abilities. I want to explain to you guys more or less what he's capable of doing and how he can do it. So first, let's talk about his abilities. His basic attack is called Inferno Blade. Now it's a 1.2 second cooldown. You swing your sword and you dash forward at a maximum distance. A flaming whirlwind will explode, dealing 650 damage to enemies on impact. Now there's bonus damage. Each time an enemy is hit with Inferno Blade, a flame strike will fire toward the direction of the closest enemy in the area, dealing 400 damage on impact. Now, that is a lot just for his basic attack. So his basic attack has 3 different types of damaging elements in it alone. Now for his first ability, he has counter. It's on a 10-second cooldown. You enter a counter stance for 4 seconds. If an enemy attacks into your blade, you negate any effects of the hit and counter attack, dealing 500 damage. His second ability is called Billow. It's 15-second cooldown. You disperse into smoke, becoming untargetable for 4 seconds. And his ultimate is called Spite. Launch forward to knock an enemy into the air and make 4 quick attacks, dealing 600 damage per attack. Now there's bonus damage each time you strike an enemy. A flame strike will strike towards the closest enemy within the area, dealing 400 damage on impact. Now that right there is similar to his basic attack as far as the flame strike. Now his basic attack is different than pretty much everybody else except for Terminus. He has a dash type ability, and you see the flame strike, the whirl at the end. Now the flame strike is a little bit different. It's a mechanic that's built into the dash. So if you hit that dash, you see the flame strike, the blue flame that went up and hit that second robot up there. So I'll show you again. So if you dash across, it flame strikes. So there's going to be a distance somewhere around the last, I would say 20% of your attack. You're going to want to try to get it in there so you can get that extra whirl hit. If you hit that extra whirl hit, you're going to do maximum damage on each basic attack. So do remember that. You're going to need that little bit of extra space. Now this is Billow. Billow, you're unable to be targeted or hit. So that is a very useful kind of safe haven skill for him. And later on, I'm pretty sure the augments are going to basically change that ability and give him some form of healing off of it. Now his other one is called counter. Basically, you put your blade up, and if somebody attacks while he is in that, it is going to do 500 damage directly back to them. So I'm gonna let this cool down again and show you. So if we get multiple hits on here, there we go. And it lasts for roughly, it was about what, 3 seconds? So it's not too bad, but it is directional. So whichever direction you are facing, it's only going to be in that direction. As you saw the guy from the side, it really didn't reflect it on that last hit that it was doing. So other than that, he has his ultimate, which his ultimate does 600 damage per attack. So this guy right here, and it's going to have the flame strikes on it as well. So line this guy up and we're going to hit him with it. There go the flame strikes. So he died in 2 hits from that because it's only got what, 2,000 health. So if you do all 4 basic attacks, those extra flame strikes are going to go off. Either they're going to hit them or they're going to hit someone else. So be aware of how much damage his ultimate has. And after his skills, I want to talk about talents. So the talents that he is capable of getting for level 1, you see basic attacks deal 20% more damage, or you can get basic attacks that reduce healing by 50%. Now this is situational. As you see right here, if I'm going against a team that is real heavy with heals and support, pick up that basic attacks reduce healing by 50% if you are going to be fighting the healers. Now if they have a flank, someone that you're going to need to always be after in their back line, you're probably going to want to go with more damage. Or if they don't have a lot of healing, just go ahead and pick up that more damage, because that right there is 20% more damage. So you can't go wrong with it. For the second level, you have the options of gaining 20% area damage reduction or a critical chance increase by 20%. Now this is situational as well, depending on what champions you're going against. If they don't really have any AoE damage type champions, you don't have to pick up the damage reduction from area damage. You can go with the critical chance, which is going to give you more damage output. With the 20% off your first level, that's probably going to be your best option, so go ahead and pick up some crit chance. For level 3, you have the option of recovering 250 health when counter is triggered, or you can recover 300 health when hitting enemies during billow. Now, the hitting enemies during billow part I don't understand yet, because we can't attack while we're actually using billow, so I'm not sure if that is worded wrong where it means you recover 300 health if you're hit by an enemy during billow. I'm not sure there. We could actually test that out. But recover 250 health when counter is triggered, that's pretty obvious when you use counter. So every, what, counter is a, I believe it was a 10-second cooldown. Yes, so every 10 seconds you could heal yourself for 250 health when you trigger that, if you wanted to trigger it every time, or you could use it as a safety feature. So I'm gonna let them do some damage, and we're going to see if getting hit while in billow recovers. So no, it's not, and you can't attack while you're in billow, so I'm not really sure what that ability there was about. But after that, for level 4, this is where it can really change the game for you. You gain 20% lifesteal, or you can increase movement speed while billow is active by 80%. Now that is very situational as well, but gaining 20% lifesteal, that's probably going to be what everybody goes with about, I'd say, 95% of the time. Increase in movement speed while billow is active is probably when you're going to mainly be in the back line yourself, and you may need the safety of being able to get out with that movement speed, because 80% is a lot of movement speed in this game. So do be aware of that. That's really, really fast, for especially the way he can move with his attacks as well. So you're going to be very mobile if you go with that. And for level 5, we have max health increase by 35%, or takedowns reduce your cooldown of your ultimate by 20%. This is situational and based off your playstyle, really. If you want that extra health, take it, or if you feel like you're doing good enough that you don't need that extra health, you're not really taking much damage, I would go with takedowns reduce the cooldown of your ultimate, because that ultimate is very, very nasty. And a good tip for this ultimate, so you do know it's going to hit 4 times already, and doesn't matter who you attack, it's going to knock them up in the air. So as you can see there, knocks you up in the air, but you're pretty much going to be able to take out a tank in one ultimate. So that's probably what I would prioritize the ultimates for if you are in team fights. Now if you're off by yourself, called a flank out somewhere, and you just really need to take them out, that is a really good thing to take them out with as well. But his basic attack is the last really thing I want to talk about again. So I showed you how to get the damage out of it from the flame strike. All right, so utilizing that last little percentage of that area around multiple enemies is going to get you the most damage out of this champion. Now do be aware, like I said, you are going to put yourself in danger, because there is a little bit of delay on the movement of that, but don't forget you have reload. Now reload is 50 seconds cooldown, so do be aware of that, and just try to utilize whatever your kit has. Now if you miss the ultimate, it does not give you anything. You see that right there? So do be aware of that. But yeah guys, this is pretty much the basics of Zhin, all of his skills, how everything works. He feels like he's going to be a nice robust champion. His kit's going to be pretty fun, because I mean, look how far you can move even if you don't have that movement speed with billow. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he plays out, especially after some people get runes and things on him. So we're going to get into some gameplay of him next, so stay tuned for that, guys. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on, and leave a like on this video, as it does help us out a lot. But with that being said, folks, Thank you so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. I am Soul Bash. You guys have a nice day.